Prince Edward is the fourth and youngest child of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. But new reports have emerged revealing that despite being the baby of the family, the Queen was said to have forgotten the Earl of Wessex's birthday when he was in his 20s. Speaking about Edward, now 54, in Jeremy Paxman's new Channel 5 documentary, which delves into the early lives of the Queen's children, his biographer Ingrid Seward described him as feeling lonely and displaced in Buckingham Palace. And following the airing of Paxman on the Queen's Children last night, viewers took to Twitter to sympathize with the youngest brother. Describing him as the overlooked third son, Ingrid Seward, editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine, said, "At Buckingham Palace Edward was lonely. One year on his birthday he went to have breakfast with the Queen and nothing was said. No card, no present. She didn't know it was his birthday." And surprised viewers quickly took to Twitter to share their reaction at the news. One follower wrote, "Jeremy Paxman on the royal family is hysterical. Just like everyone else's family, except for the Queen not knowing poor Edward's birthday." Ingrid previously touched on this in her 2005 book Prince Edward, a biography, when she described how the Queen and her youngest son had breakfast together one morning in the early 90s, as she ate her toast and marmalade and sipped her special blend of tea which she makes herself. The biographer told how nothing was said, however when a royal aide was made aware that the Queen had forgotten, a hasty phone call was made and he had a present a few hours later. If it had been Prince Edward's 20th or his 30th, his mother would not have forgotten, she added, writing that her heroic second son Andrew, who fought in the war, was her favourite son. The Queen had an oak tree planted in the grounds of Buckingham Palace to mark the birth of each of her children. And speaking back on the show, Richard Kay told Jeremy Paxman, "His royal aides once told me that the trouble with Prince Edward is that he can never decide whether he is His Royal Highness or Edward Windsor. He couldn't tell whether he was one of us or a member of the royal family." Describing his relationship with oldest brother Charles, he continued, "Charles is 16 years older than Edward and they weren't close." Recalling a past incident when Charles asserted his family ranking, she remembers, "He probably only saw him in the summer at Balmoral. On one of those occasions Prince Edward went upstairs and found some of the Duke of Windsor's old kilts which of course were all the tartans that the Prince of Wales is entitled to wear, and he thought, ooh, those look rather fun. So he put one on, and it fitted. He went down to dinner in a tartan which was that of the Duke of Rothesay, and as he went into the dining room Charles went apoplectic and said, 'What are you doing wearing that? I am the only one entitled to wear that kilt. It is a kilt for the Prince of Wales. Go upstairs and take it off.' Edward, being such a calm person, just went upstairs and took it off and never mentioned it again." He continued, "The Prince of Wales recognized all of his own tartans. And the Rothesay tartan is particularly nice.